how to fix modern zombies. A question a lot of people are trying to figure out. And well, a lot of people's solution behind that is just to revert all the changes and go back to classic zombies. But I'm not going to go that way today. I want to actually give my thoughts on what I think would make the modern mechanics a whole lot better. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is that it's not really the mechanics itself, but I think just the way it looks and feels. Now, I think a lot of people's biggest complaint with modern zombies these days is that it feels too much like Warzone. But why is that? Well, there's a lot of things. One, when you run out of armor, you're putting in plates. Two, you got score streaks roaming around. And now I think the reason why it feels so much like Warzone is because the mechanics themselves are not zombified. And what I mean by that is that I think the best example I can give to you is Der Eisendrache. A lot of the parts of that map are reskins from multiplayer, surprisingly. Now, the bows, the main wonder weapon of the map, are literally just a reskin of the specialist for multiplayer, which is the chick with the bow and arrow. And even on top of that, the main specialists on the map are literally gravity spikes. But the thing with them is that they're not just, ripped straight out of multiplayer. They have their own little skin that makes it unique to zombies. And I think that is missing heavily within modern zombies today. And like what I mean by that is that, let's just say you run out of armor and you put in the plate. When you put in the plate, you're just doing the normal Warzone animation, when they could have made it where it had its own unique animation instead of just it being a shield plate. Same with the score streaks. And I thought they were going to fix this with the Mangler injection, but they didn't really go anywhere else with that. I thought it was kind of a missed opportunity to just do Mangler ejection. Now they do have the RCXD, but those are the two only ones that are different from multiplayer. Well, I guess the Mangler ejection is not in multiplayer, but you get what I'm saying. You got the chopper gunner, it's the same thing. You got the war machine, it's the same thing. Like, imagine if the war machine was like this dark ether, like gross looking and like infected gun that shoots out like purple crystals that explode. That would be sick. It's the same thing as the war machine, but it has its own look and feel to it. And honestly, that brings me to another point, is that I really wish they made map specific score streaks. And I did think they were going to do this with Terminus with the Mangler ejection, but I was completely wrong. I do think map score streaks should be a thing. I think it would just make the maps more unique, but that is a whole nother topic. We're talking about the mechanics themselves today. But that is something that I really wish they kind of did, is just make the mechanics more zombified, make it actually unique and distinct compared to, Warzone and multiplayer. It would just make zombies actually feel like zombies and not zombies feels like Warzone or multiplayer. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the starting pistol, or having the option to earn your loadouts. Now, I think being able to just spawn in with some of the most overpowered weapons is just kind of dumb and kind of just makes the maps not feel unique in a way, because you're just using the same guns every time, and you don't really have that feeling of, oh shit, I need to survive and like find a weapon. It just kind of loses that whole feeling in zombies, which what made zombies be zombies. Now, I think bringing back the starting pistol would just make progression feel more rewarding and more meaningful. And if they want to do loadouts, I think you should be able to earn your loadouts and not just spawn in with them. And I made a video about this a year ago, talking about how they should bring back the starting pistol, and if they want to do loadouts, make it where you can earn it. And the way they can do that is bring back the weapon fridge, but make it where you have to earn the weapon fridge by doing a quest, similar to like how you have to get Pack-a-Punch. I feel like that is the best solution they could do for the modern mechanics. You can satisfy the classic zombies and you can satisfy the modern zombies fans. I feel like this is just the best way, and I'm honestly kind of shocked they didn't do this with BO6, and it's something that I really want within this game, because there are a lot of people that just want to go in and use the guns they want, and they could do that by earning their loadouts. Now, they could also just bring back the starting pistol and just leave it as is. And I have seen some comments talking about how, oh, they should just do loadouts within the survival maps, which I think is also a really good idea, and is honestly something that I hope they do. Now, next up, I want to talk about is the rarity system. I think rarities in this game are just kind of dumb. I feel like if you're going to do rarities, I feel like you should actually make it feel meaningful and not just like, oh, you do 3% more damage with each rarity. I feel like that is just kind of boring. We kind of already have that with Pack-a-Punch in a way. And I feel like the best way they could do the rarity system, and there's so much potential behind it as well, is that make it where you earn like additional perks with the weapons. And I don't want to lose y'all on this one, but just hear me out. The best way I can kind of just describe it is something like in Destiny 2, where you have weapon perks, where say you get tier 2, or not tier 2, but like let's just say you're at a rare rarity. If you get to that, you get a, you know, faster aim down sight speed or faster reload. But as you get higher in the rarity, you get crazier perks. So let's just say, for example, you get legendary, you get a perk where if you get a headshot, the zombie explodes and all the zombies around you explode. Something just, you know, absolutely overpowered, where it makes the weapon actually feel legendary. Another perk I could just think of is every time you get a kill, it partially reloads the weapon, or something. They could just go all out crazy with it and just, I don't know. I feel like it would make the sandbox of zombies just be so much fun and just, I don't know, just kind of crazy, and they just go all out with it. They could. There's so much potential behind it, but they keep it basic and do, let's just make it do more damage. That's just not exciting or fun at all. I think rarity should just have more meaning behind them, where the actual rarity title actually means something behind it, like legendary weapons actually feel like legendary weapons. And I feel like perks would honestly help that a lot. Now, next thing I want to talk about is the armor. Now, I'm not saying they should just completely get rid of the armor and go back to the shield, because I don't think the shield is also all that great. Now, I did like, you know, trying to find the parts and all that. I thought that was pretty cool. And I feel like they could still probably do that with armor. But I do think having the armor be a wall buy is just kind of dumb in my opinion. I feel like there's just so many things you have to save your money for already in zombies. Perks, Pack-a-Punch, the doors. It's just, I feel like it just adds on a little bit too much in my opinion. And it's also hella expensive. In this economy, are we for real, Treyarch? I feel like they should just go back to where you have to find parts around the map to build the armor, and then you got it. And then if you want to repair your armor, you go to the crafting table. I feel like the shield mechanic, or the shielding up mechanic, isn't all that terrible. I do think it's a little bit better than having to like go back to the, you know, shield and then re-getting it. I didn't really like it that much, but I do think earning the armor should be a bit better and just, I don't know, more satisfying in my opinion. Now, alongside the armor, the next thing I want to talk about is the hit system and the zombie speed. I absolutely hate the damage scaling with rounds for zombies. It is so dumb. I hate it. And I also hate the super sprinters. And I think we might not see that in the next game, because, I mean, they're getting rid of attack sprint. So, hey, who knows? Maybe the fucking zombies will, you know, lay off the fucking crack in the next game. So, hopefully we see this, because I think the zombie speed, it just makes it almost impossible to play if you don't have any armor. And I think that's just kind of silly in my opinion. I feel like the way it was in BO3 and BO2, it felt so much better. Honestly, I would rather go back to the BO2 system. I thought the 2-hit system was the best system they have ever had, in my opinion. I feel like it actually made getting to high rounds and setting up the map more rewarding, while in BO6, it just feels like you're just playing the game with your brain turned off, where in BO2, you actually had to think about the decisions you were making and being careful within the map when setting up. And I feel like that is just not there with BO6 or modern zombies, because it's almost impossible to die with the hit system in this game, especially the early rounds. Like, if you die within the first 15 rounds of the zombies game, you might as well uninstall, because you are complete cheeks at the game, dog. I think the hit system and the zombie speed within BO6 and modern zombies is just kind of silly in my opinion, and I feel like it should definitely change in the next game. And that is everything that I think would help make modern zombies a whole lot better. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think of this and what you would change up and what you would like to see within modern zombies. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.